Hello and welcome to this week's Astro Tarot with me, Zachariah Adil, your humble host. It's the 25th of April 2022, and thank you for joining me. Um, it's been a strange old weekend, you know. Um, on Saturday, a number of people were feeling really tired. And even I, I made a little video on TikTok just to say how I'm feeling lazy. And it was just sort of a bit of a joke, but it was quite true. I had all these plans and things I was gonna do on Saturday and didn't do any of them. I just basically stayed at home under the duvet, watched some TV, and just slept. So that was my Saturday. And then it was interesting on the Sunday when I met up with a bunch of other people, and they all not all of them, but a lot of them were saying that they also had this kind of lethargic feeling on Saturday. I'm wondering if you guys felt the same. So if you did, leave me a message and just let me know. I'll be interested to know. Because there was something going on. There was something in the ether that was affecting people. Anyway, let's get on with this week's I was gonna say show. It is a show. Let's get on with the show. All right, we're gonna start with Aries, as we always do. Raja Najam Habib says, "Hello, sir." I recognize that name. Hello, Najam. How you doing? Okay. Let's start off with Aries. I'm gonna pull some cards. Okay. This week we're using the Druid pack. This is my favorite. I think this is probably my favorite pack. As you can tell from the way the cards look, it's kind of quite worn. I use this quite a lot. I need to get a new pack, I think. But I even if I got a new pack, I'd still use the old one. So I don't think there's any point. Anyway, Aries. Look, we've got the Four of Cups reversed. We've got the High Priestess, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. All right. So, when the Four of Cups comes, when it comes upright, there's a sense of like there's a blessing in disguise, but you're feeling like unhappy with the circumstances. When it comes reversed, right, rather than feeling indifferent, you kind of recognize the gold in the situation, and here is the cup, the sort of the hidden treasure here, right? And then when it comes reversed, you're turning around to actually recognize the hidden treasure. So that is very, very positive. So at the beginning part of the week, it's like you're able to see the wood for the trees and are able to have the clarity of vision, even though things are a bit complicated. Now, in terms of getting to the result that you want, the high priestess slows everything down and says, wait, you've got to wait and get in touch with your intuition. Let the mysteries reveal itself slowly because it takes time. It's not a fast thing. Let that happen, and once that happens, then you are able to make the decisions that bring the best results. Now, this card, when the Nine of Pentacles comes, this is the wealthy person, usually woman, who's able to live life on her own terms and do the things that are right for her, even if it upsets other people and the other people are relegated in terms of their position, because you have to put yourself first. And I think that this is what happens. I think once these first two cards are about seeing clearly, and recognizing the gold. And here it's like get the clarity, get the connection, the congruency with your inner self. Once you have that, then you're able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And if people call you selfish and say you're self-interested, so what? As opposed to what? As opposed to me dropping what I need to do for myself and serve your needs. Yeah. Anytime somebody says that you're selfish, think about that for a second. You can just turn around to them and say, well, as opposed to what? Serve your needs instead. Because that's just a very manipulative thing to say to anybody. Anyway, let's move on to Taurus. Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Empress, and we have the Lord. So this is for Taurus. All right, so the circumstances have been such that you feel like you're climbing an uphill like it's an uphill kind of struggle at the moment. I don't know if struggle is the right word, but basically you're having to work on something and you're having to work really hard. You have to work all the nights and all of the hours that you have so that you can create this thing that you're working on. Or like this guy is in an apprenticeship mode, so he needs to learn, he needs to get things right, he needs to do it properly, and he needs to understand that getting things done to a certain standard is a necessity before you can progress from here. Okay, now this is the card of this is the pregnant mother. Now she takes 9 months before something births. Okay, so 3 is significant, but also 9 months is also significant. This is also the card of abundance and like creativity and the getting in touch with nature and finding the beauty in the circumstances, the circumstances you may be in, even if they're restricting, there's still joy in moments. We're humans, we find joy wherever we are at. And I think this is the kind of abundance. So chances are you're going to be in a good experience, like a nice beautiful environment, like this card shows, an abundant environment. But even if you're not, there's still beauty and joy to be found wherever you're at. And that can be found in the most difficult of circumstances as well. So what this card actually means is she's a patron of creativity. So if you're in a sticky situation, the other thing about this card is use your creativity to find novel solutions. That's the other thing, an interpretation of this card. There's so many interpretations of this card. I'm just thinking of some of the Taurian people that I know in certain circumstances that they find themselves in. So, but generally speaking, this is a kind of abundance, joy, fun. If you're a Taurian lady that wants to get pregnant, this is a good omen for that as well. And especially coupled here with the Lord. So this is about boundaries now. You're the emperor. You have an empire, and you need to manage that. You need to protect that because it's yours, and you do that through creating boundaries, mental boundaries, and also sometimes physical boundaries. Protect yourself. You've got to prioritize yourself at this time. We always do. We always do. I get the sense that that reading was a little bit fragmented, but I hope that that does make sense to you guys out there, you Taurians out there. All right, let me move on to Gemini. I didn't say it this week. Gemini. There you go. I said it now. Let's move on to Gemini. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords, we have the Prince of Swords, and we have the Six of Cups. All right, so with the Seven of Swords, it's this card shows a certain level of stress and a certain amount of work that needs to be done that can't wait. So you have to sort of prioritize. Maybe prioritize isn't the right word. You have to organize your diary in such a way that you have an additional amount of time to get work stuff done. All right, that's the first thing. The thing is, you're not happy about what you're having to do, so you do it with a certain attitude of like, damn, I just need to get this finished so I can move on now with my life. So it's just one of those hard graft things. Just suck it up, get it done. Be conscious of the fact that there could be people around you that aren't the best people, because we've got two of the narcissist cards right next door to each other. Okay, this card is that of the energy thief, and this is the card of the person who may have antisocial personality tendencies. So that means psychopathic or sociopathic tendencies. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're going to find yourself faced with. But the fact that we've got the energy thief and we've got this card together, it just kind of does suggest that you might be surrounded by this week, might find yourself in an environment where there is difficult people or people who demand a lot of your time, your energy, who are entitled, who lack empathy, and they just want what they want. They don't care about you. So if you do find the people like this around you, you're going to have a sense of humor about it, and just don't take any of the things they say personally, because it's not about you, it's about the other person. All right. Another interpretation of these cards is that the pace of life is going to speed up, and you're going to have to do a lot of stuff in a short space of time. Towards the end of the week, though, things are going to be better. You can reconnect with loved ones, possibly even with a friend or a ex-partner who you were with, but who you have a good relationship with, and you want to spend time with this person, and you enjoyed that person's energy and personality. Not the best with my words today, I'm afraid. I think I'm a bit tired. All right, let's move on to Cancer now. Presence was the word I was looking for. You enjoy that person's energy and presence. Really wasn't that hard. Okay, Cancer. Don't normally do this, but I've got 3 cards come up for the first segment here. So for Cancer, this is the first cards that come up is the 4 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is all in the first space. The second space has the Tower card, and the third is the King of Cups. All right, so the beginning part of this week, you've decided to pull back your resources, pull back your energy, and just sort of keep yourself to yourself. However, circumstances are such that you're being pulled into a social environment where you really don't want to be there. But then the opportunities are also out there for you to actually change your life, because you've been in this place where things have just been going and going and going and going, and you haven't felt a sense of control over where it was going. And I think that changes around now. There's also an eclipse, I think, at the end of this, towards the end of this week. I think on the 30th there's an eclipse, and that's going to be a big moment for you as well. Being Cancerian, being ruled by the moon, I think that's going to be a big moment. So things are going to shift, and I think you've got to get a lot more control back in your life. Doesn't often come without a bit of chaos. So and I know you've had some chaos already recently in the last few weeks. There's a little bit more on the way, but this is good chaos, because it's going to this is good chaos. It's chaos that's going to lead to a good outcome ultimately, because you're going to be able to create a new life in the ashes of this building that finally burns down. This was not built on solid foundation at all. So now let it crash, let it burn down, and once it gets to the ashes, the point of ashes, then you can build something else on that, which you will do with a mature perspective and something that's emotionally fulfilling for you. Okay, so I know it's not been easy for you for the last few weeks, and this week isn't going to be the most comfortable of weeks either. However, there is good stuff on the way, and the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor. A new wheel begins, and it gives you a new start for the next 10 to 12 months, and it's going to be positive. So bear through this week, and things will improve. All right, let's move on to Leo now. Okay, we've got the 10 of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups, we have the 9 of Wands. All right, so so you have this idea of people. So this could be in a family context, or it could be just your friends or extended family or whatever it is, just groups of people around you. Okay, you have this idea of how this group functions, and it's a little bit idealized. What with this card here, it's a little bit idealized, and I think what may happen this week is that your head comes out of the cloud, is pulled out of the clouds for a while, which is no good thing, no bad thing. I think also for Leos aren't rose tinted glasses. They can be for a short while, but not usually. They like to see what they're dealing with, and I think this probably was what you were dealing with. People were behaving themselves and were really enjoying each other's company and everything. But I think that a little bit of illusion was mixed in with all of that, and now you're beginning to see what was really there. It's possible somebody says something bad about you, maybe even slanders you, because your wall has now gone towards the end of this week. Your wall will go up, and you may just choose to sort of distance yourself from certain people, because you've begun to realize that perhaps they're not as trustworthy as they previously seemed, or maybe something they said, possibly even in a light, jokey way, kind of triggered you. But for whatever reason, your wall is up, and you're a bit more wary about those people around you. Um, I would say deal with what you need to deal with, because you've got carrying a lot on your shoulders at the moment, and you're handling it by yourself. That is very Leo, by the way. So deal with what you deal with. Ask for help from the right people and not from the wrong people. Um, and regarding this, the Nine of Wands, I think feel your way through it. It could just be a temporary frustration. But if your eyes have opened to certain people that aren't trustworthy, remember that you can forgive, but don't forget. All right, let's move on to Virgo. Okay, we've got the World card, we've got the Hanged Man, but reversed, and we've got the Three of Cups. Okay, so this is for Virgo. All right. So the World card is one of the best cards in the pack. This means you're in tune with the universe, and you're in tune with all that is coming to you. I dance to the tune, and the universe gets me in a certain flow where synchronicities abound. However, the card after that is the Hanged Man, and it's reversed. So when you accept your circumstances, then you can remain in that flow, right? But when that's disrupted and you're fighting against the circumstances, that is problematic. So for whatever reason, something has happened that you feel is either unjust or unfair, and rather than being able to take a spiritual perspective, you're kind of rooted in that human perspective, which is, this isn't right, this must be changed, this isn't acceptable. And I think you are pushing against this monolith, and that pushing against energetically causes repercussions. And I think you need to pull back from that. When you are able to sort of get some perspective, then things really improve for you, because then we've got the Three of Cups, and this is a celebration of sorts. And it can also mean creative success in the arts as well. So this is a very positive card towards the end of the week. There could be that little glitch in the middle, but when you realize that you're bashing against a brick wall, and you stop doing that, things almost immediately improve. Okay, let's now move on to Libra. We have got the Two of Wands, we have the Prince of Wands, and we have the Three of Swords. So with the Two of Wands, it's like when you're in the early stages of a new endeavor. So in the Rider-Waite pack, this is a guy that's looking at the who has a globe in his hands, and is looking off into the distance. And it's somewhat similar to the Three of Wands, right, which is the card that comes after this in the Minor Arcana. But with the Three of Wands, is much more further ahead, and he's looking off into the distance while his fleet goes out, and he knows they'll come back with a profit. This is in the early stages before you got to that stage, right? This is before the person has got to the point where he's got a fleet at all. So this is where you're figuring out what it is that you're doing. All right, and what, like, if it's business oriented, so what business are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What role are you going to play? So the fact that the card that comes after that is the Prince of Wands, it's like, you've already made the plans. Now it's time to take action and actually do it, and act quickly, and act with confidence and courage, because now's the time. There's a good auspices for a positive outcome for you in terms of the business stuff. Now, on the personal level, there could be some sort of difficulty, maybe a bit of pain, possibly even a little bit of heartache. But with that pain, you've got to carry on because there's always activity with the three. And so you can't stop, especially with this stuff, work stuff happening that's really positive stuff. You can't really stop. So you just have to continue with that pain, with the heavy heart, you carry on and you get stuff done anyway. I've got to get some clarity on that a bit more. Ultimately, if you start with the vision that you want to work towards, that will be really helpful, and that gives you the stimulus to continue through any pain or any difficulty or any grief, whatever it is that you're experiencing. I'm sorry you're experiencing that. If you do, it will be at the towards the latter part of the week. But for whatever reason, you know, I'm sorry for experiencing pain. But if you have your ultimate goal at the back of your mind always, it makes it easier for you to get through it. All right, let's move on to Scorpio now. We've got the Nine of Cups. This is the Devil card. And we've got the High Priest, the Hierophant. Excuse me. Oh, gosh. So the Nine of Cups, the beginning part of the week, this is a card of contentment. So this is a situation of relative ease, and you have everything you need to survive and to survive well. But there's a sense that something's missing because you'll notice that the guy has everything, but he's by himself. So sometimes can feel a bit lonely. Sometimes it's like I have everything, but I have nothing. So sometimes it can be dissatisfaction with what you have, even though you know that you're blessed, which is quite a common thing in today's world, today's society. Um, but still, this is generally speaking still a very positive card, and it says that you're very, very blessed, and appreciate your blessings. And the more you appreciate them, the more they grow. Now, in the middle part of the week, we've got this devil energy, which is about the inner child wanting what it wants, and it doesn't care how you judge it, how you label it. It wants what it wants, and it's like, give me that lollipop. I want the lollipop now. And I think that in the middle part of the week, there could be some sort of temptation for you, and it's hard for you to turn that down. It's up to you how you handle that, but you might go a little bit wild at the middle part of the week. It's no bad thing. Wild Scorpio, that's hardly a surprise, is it? At the end of this week, now we've got the High Priest. Now this is sometimes this card comes when there's secrets that are going to be revealed. Um, Something that you've been waiting for, or maybe somebody's trying to keep a secret from you. But this card is a card also of initiation, traditional institutions. Depending on depending on what question you ask, there's a different sort of interpretation of this card. But in terms of for this week, the way that I see this sort of story going, I reckon a secret might be revealed for you that is important. Um, Either you find it out, or somebody tells you, or you sort of begin to sniff it out, and something like an intuition or a feeling that you may have had previously begins to make sense. Um, yeah, yeah, that's that for Scorpio. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Excuse me. We've got the Six of Wands, with the Queen of Swords, and we have the King of Pentacles. So we've got two court cards at the end here. So the Six of Wands is a very positive card. There are three victory cards, and this is one of them. This card means returning home victorious, being put on a bit of a pedestal because people recognize what you bring, your skills, and also you've achieved something that was quite mega, quite important. And as a result, you're getting recognized for the work that you've put in and the energy you bring to this situation as well. In the middle part of the week, the Queen of Swords is being told, remove the emotion and come from the sensible headspace, and also get the work done regarding that is communication oriented. So get the writing project done, or get the write the speech, or do the speech. Just get the you have to. What will be helpful for you in the middle part of the week is um, uh, good communication skills, and just getting that stuff out of the way. I hope that makes sense to you. And towards the end of the week, this is the guy that's good at everything. So he has to, because he's good at everything, he's got a lot to juggle. Um, and he does it with real skill as well. So this is somebody who's very good with their finances as well. So if there are financial matters towards the end of this week, will be a good time to sort that out. If you haven't paid your tax bill, pay that tax bill. Whatever it is, it's likely that it could be connected to contracts and also financial matters. Towards the end of this week, it's a good time to resolve those. But generally speaking, these are really positive cards. The victory card, one of the 3 victory cards. The queen, who's also the military queen, so she's very productive and gets stuff done and removes the emotion. And then the guy that's good at everything, and especially financially oriented, financially motivated. This is very positive. It could also mean, potentially could mean a financial gift towards the end of the week also. So that's really positive. All right, let's move on to Capricorn. We've got the Hanged Man, we've got the Queen of Cups, and we've got the Princess of Cups. So much like the previous signs, like Sagittarius, we've got 2 court cards at the end here. So with the Hanged Man, with this card says you need to accept the circumstances. This is at the beginning part of the week. His hands are tied, he's upside down, there's not much he can do. He just has to wait until this situation passes, and once it does, then you're sort of freed to re-enter life in a way where nothing's holding you back anymore, because you've gone through that situation, you dealt with it, you dealt with the repercussions, and now you've come through that. You're now free again. You're kind of starting afresh, completely naked, completely open, and having to deal with the circumstances that are going to come after this now. But for now, you're like a clean slate. Everything's gone. There's no more weight on you. So that's in that regard, it's a positive thing. Now, in the middle part of the week, the Queen of Cups is the nurturer. She nurtures other people. She's the artistic and psychologically aware mother as well. So when she comes, she wants to serve your emotional needs and make you feel good about yourself, remind you what's special about yourself. She's also the therapist, and the performing artist as well. So sometimes you can go to see a counselor when this card comes. Maybe that's something that will be helpful, or just speak to a friend where you can just speak things out and get things off your chest, and possibly even some drama therapy. Now, the card that's at the end here, which is about the end of the week, is the Page of Cups, or the Princess of Cups in this pack. Now, this is a brand new emotional beginning. So a new beginning, a new beginning for you, whereby you set a new neutral emotionally for yourself. So this card often comes up when you're experiencing like a new relationship, you met somebody new, and those adolescent feelings of love, and you do sort of regress a little bit to a younger age. But it's a really beautiful card, and really sort of brings up really nice feelings, that like adolescent feelings of like new experimentation and new experiences that are exciting, and you're looking forward to them. That sort of feeling towards the end of this week. So it's really nice, and I'm happy to be able to tell you that new exciting endeavors are on the way that you really relish. Okay. All right, let me move on to Aquarius. Someone's given me a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house. All right, we've got the King of Cups. We have the World card. And then we have the Five of Swords. All right. So the King of Cups is somebody that's always conscious and mindful of their own and other people's emotions. So in some ways, you put the feelings of other people ahead of yours, and you became the person that's detached and in sort of observation mode. So in one way, that's good, but you shouldn't relegate yourself and put yourself below anybody else. You should always stay in an equalized position, and that's something to be considerate of in the future as well. In the middle part of the week, this is the World card. This is one of the best cards in the pack. So there's not really a bad interpretation for this with this card. So it means you're in tune with the universe. You're exactly where you need to be, and you're serving your purpose exactly as the divine wants you to. So so continue. Towards the end of the week now, we've got the card of the Five of Swords. Now this is one of the narcissist cards. This is the direct narcissist. So he wins, the other person loses. So this is something to be conscious of. If you're dealing with people who have a really sort of black and white perspective, then there is a certain way that you can handle those people. There's a tactic called observe, don't absorb. So if you find that you are dealing with a person who has a very narrow perspective, back away from them, back away from that energy, because no good can come from being around that energy for too long. And if you're kind of forced to communicate with them, observe but don't absorb their energy on what they give you. And remember that whatever they say or do is a reflection of them, and no matter how they try to project it onto you, it's not about you. All right, that will be helpful. I've just seen a message by Maggie. Good morning from Perth, Zachariah. It's 6:53 a.m. and it's lovely to hear you first thing. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for saying that. And Valin J, I'm always so happy to catch you, Zachariah. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here for you guys and to read your lovely messages. Thank you so much. I've got one more sign to do, which is Pisces, and then we're done. We've wrapped up for the week. All right, Pisces, here we come. Here we go. Valin, I'm sorry that I don't really have a consistent time when I come. It's supposed to be on Sundays in the evening, like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock UK time. But stuff happens. And I thought to myself, if I can at least get it done Sunday or Monday, then that's good. So evening time, either Sunday or Monday, I'm usually doing this. So yeah, try and catch me when you can. Maybe eventually I will just set it at a certain time, but I'm typical Aquarius in that way. Things change. Valin said, no worries. I love that you do it. Thank you. And Maggie says, absolutely. As long as it's done, that's all that matters. Thank you for understanding. Thank you. Pisces, right. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. And we have the Three of Pentacles. Right. So with the Four of Swords, this card is for the beginning part of this week now for Pisces. You've decided to retreat because you need time to rest and get your energy back up. You need to recuperate. Something happened last week whereby your energy was a little bit drained, and you just need to get back to feeling rejuvenated again. So that's what the beginning part of the week is going to be for you. So you're going to take it easy. In the middle part of the week now, this is the card of options, right? But a lot of them are illusion. So when the illusions begin to fall away, you realize that there's only really one option. So this is when the card comes reversed. All of the illusions have now fallen away, and you're just left with this one option here. So in the middle part of the week, you begin to realize, look, I would have liked to have done that, but I can't do that now because it's just has fallen out of my grasp. This is the only one thing I can do. I've got to take this. I've got to take this option, and it's a really good option. Sometimes reality is what we need. You know, there's that whole saying, fantasy is what we want, but reality is what we need. Reality is what you need in the middle part of this week, Pisces. And at the end of this week now, this is a card of working towards mastery and rebuilding that which was broken. My spiritual belief system that was broken, that was damaged, I can begin to now put that back together, and I can work towards mastery of my craft. So this is a very, very positive card. And also you can see these people watching you as well, so that can bring you a bit of acclaim as well. So it's a pretty good reading. Not particularly easy for a Piscean to lose the illusion, because Pisces like illusion. Not that they like illusion, but they like to dream. They're dreamers. They like to dream. But when that dream falls away and they need to step into reality, it takes a bit of time for them to adjust, but it's necessary. Okay. All right. Well, that wraps up another week of Astro Tarot from me, your humble host, Zachariah Adil. And I will be with you again next week, either on a Sunday, Monday, or a Tuesday. I can't tell you when, but I'll be around and I will continue to do this. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys. Thank you, Valin and Maggie, and Najam for your messages today. Thanks a lot. Take care, guys. Bye.